Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Badke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. The topic of today's video is pretty interesting. As we know that Manchester United has currently appointed Erik ten Hag as their manager since the start of 2022-2023 season. Ten Hag has been given a 2-year contract with the possible option of extending beyond 1 year as well. So a lot of Manchester United fans and pundits are excited about Erik ten Hag, but most of the fans of the Premier League don't know much about Erik and what he has accomplished throughout his career. So in this video, we are going to take a look at his achievements. What type of formation does Erik prefer? What did he do in his previous coaching stints at Utrecht and Ajax, as well as the Bayern Munich B side, and who are his influences? And what is expected of Erik by the Manchester United fans. Um as we know that Manchester United fans prefer a particular style of play which is eye catchy and which makes you get out of the seat. Unfortunately, after the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson, that has not been the case. First, David Moyes came in. His start was pretty good, but after 10 months, he got sacked. Then Louis Van Gaal came in. I thought he did a pretty great job. He won the FA Cup in his second season. United should have persisted with him, but they got rid of him. Then came Jose Mourinho with a proven record, and as we know that he once said, I don't know if he once said tongue in cheek or he meant that. I think he meant that he said finishing second with that Manchester United squad was perhaps the biggest achievement of his career, and now in hindsight it has been true. There are many problems plaguing Manchester United, but that is a topic of discussion in another video. First of all, we will come to who is Erik ten Hag and how many teams has he managed. He has managed Bayern Munich B team for 2 seasons. And he developed his tactical philosophy based on Pep Guardiola, which who was coach of Bayern Munich for 3 seasons there. So Pep's tactics are pretty much evident in the way Ajax play through Erik ten Hag. Erik prefers a 4-3-3 combination, or he is flexible for a 4-2-3-1 combination, 4-3-2-1 combination as well. And aggressive pressing is preferred by Ajax team, which is preferably done by the midfielders. And Ajax is also known as a possession-oriented team with quick short passes, no diagonal passes, only straight passes, so that the tempo of the game is always moved forward. And Erik is also flexible with his ideology depending on the opposition. So, as I said a few moments ago, he employs preferably 4-3-3 tactic or 4-3-2-1 tactic. But if the opposition plays a high line or a defensive line, which is very difficult to penetrate, so he adjusts his philosophy accordingly and also rotates the player accordingly. So he's pretty much flexible in that sense. With his aggressive pressing and possession oriented style, the wingers are benefited. And we know that Jadon Sancho has not been getting the game time as has been promised by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So that was a pretty discontent among the team. Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford could potentially find a new lease of life under Erik ten Hag, with Ronaldo as the main striker up front. Can you imagine the amount of balls that they Ronaldo, Rashford, and Sancho uh, could pass to Ronaldo? So he will be unstoppable. So the only players at the moment who are keeping United alive are David De Gea and Ronaldo, despite the fact that Ronaldo faces so much criticism. But anyways, that is not a topic today. He prefers technical wingers like Jadon Sancho. At Ajax, such work is done by Dusan Tadic as well. And one thing about Erik ten Hag is that he even though the new Manchester United manager coming in will be given a significant budget to spend by the Woodward family, he prefers the players who are outcast from big club or improve the existing level of the players to take them to a even greater level. The prime example is that Daley Blind. As we know that he couldn't get the required success at Manchester United, although he gets a lot of flack for it. He was very good as compared to Lindelof and Harry Maguire. But since he has moved to Ajax, he has been a pivotal role and orchestrates things from the back for Ajax. as a center back. So he has found a new lease of life under Eric. So has Sebastian Haller. As we know, when Sebastian Haller left the Premier League, there were many critics, and many were skeptical of his move to move away from the Premier League to the Dutch Eredivisie, which, as we know, with all due respect to Dutch Eredivisie, is a comparatively standard is lower than the Premier League, but he has proved his critics wrong, and he is the highest scorer in the Champions League group stage. In 6 games, he has scored 10 goals, and he emphasized and reiterated his plans of joining Ajax because of his faith in Erik Ten Hag, and he knew that he wanted to play Champions League football, so he has a complete faith in the system employed by Erik Ten Hag. So, but so it's a good appointment, but the footballing world as well as the Premier League came to know of Erik Ten Hag for his exploits with Ajax in the 2018-19 season. They knocked out Real Madrid and won famously at the Santiago Bernabeu with dazzling displays by Dusan Tadic and Hakim Ziyech, who is currently at Chelsea. That was one of the most memorable matches of Champions League in recent memory. And then he took out Juventus in the quarter final as well, and progressed to the semi final where they were leading Tottenham Hotspur, but out of sheer pure luck and brilliance of Lucas Moura, they got knocked out at the last moment. So that was a heartbreaker for Ajax. But anyways, that captivated the attention to Erik Ten Hag, and whole of Europe's top clubs began to notice him. We know from that 2018-19 batch, top Ajax players are now currently employing their trade in various leagues. Matthias de Ligt at Juventus, Frankie de Jong is now able to find his feet at Barcelona. Hakim Ziyech plays very well for Chelsea as well. So that batch has been a byproduct of Eric. Now, what should Manchester United fans expect? First of all, they need to show patience. We know that Eric is coming into the best league in the world, which already has Tuchel at Chelsea, Pep and Klopp. Along with Mikel Arteta is also coming into his element at Arsenal, so it won't be easy to just go in and straight expected miracles from him. Ralph Rangnick, the interim manager, has recently said after the Liverpool defeat that Manchester United are 6 years behind Liverpool. So we know the enormous task Erik Ten Hag has already have at Manchester United, but it is good to be optimistic. His style of play, as I said, is very aggressive. It gets fans out of the seat, and any new project starts, it starts with hope and optimism, and I hope he performs well, because he is a proven talent in the Dutch league. Although it will be a whole different ball game coming into the Premier League, but I think Eric will perform well, and what he does with Ronaldo, I think Ronaldo will stay. He will not think of leaving until the next season, although many people are saying, and his personal belief is that to win the Ballon d'Or, he needs trophies, he needs to be competitive, and he also understands the need to be more fluid with Manchester United. And although it seems that he is frustrated currently, but I think he will stay for at least a season and help Ten Hag execute his plan. And there is no doubt in my mind that Ronaldo is going to be the main man of Erik Ten Hag, and he will build around his team Ronaldo, and they will have to sort out the other mess, that is the contract situation. And as I said at the start of the video, the expectations of fans and pundits, which is very big when it comes to a club like Manchester United. So how did you like my analysis of Erik Ten Hag? Please tell in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next part of the video. I'm making this series as a three-part video series, sorry. The first, we have covered Erik Ten Hag's previous achievements at Utrecht as well as Ajax. And then in the next video, we are going to discuss the contract situation of 5 players which are coming up for Manchester United, which could potentially be a spoiler for Ten Hag, and how he should navigate that situation. Also, we will look in the next video is that the players that he is going to bring in the next transfer window, and in the third part we will do what are the expectations of fans and pundits. So How did you like my analysis? Please tell in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon for further notification. I'm saying this again because this is my first video on football, so I hope you appreciate it. We'll meet in the next video. Till then everyone, bye.